Dear students, today we shall have a discussion on the concepts of food chain and food web. These two are very important topics of biology and environmental science subject. First question, why do organisms eat food? And very simple answer, to get energy. Energy that ensures their survival. And for this energy, green plants, they rely on the process of photosynthesis, and animals, since they are heterotrophs, they rely on plants and other animals. Let's have a brief discussion on the process of photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is a unique process that is carried out by only green plants. What happens in this process? Green plants, in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll, they combine this carbon dioxide and water. Carbon dioxide is taken from the atmosphere and this water is taken from the soil through roots. By combining these two things in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll, plants are capable of synthesizing their food in the form of glucose. So what are carbon dioxide and water? In this process, they are raw materials, and there is a presence of sunlight and chlorophyll, and as a result our end product is prepared in the form of glucose and oxygen is released as a byproduct. Now, if we talk about flow of energy, we all know that energy is not created nor destroyed. Rather, in an ecosystem, it flows from one organism to the another organism. When we wish to understand the process of flow of this energy, the concepts of food chain and food web, they come into picture. What is food chain? A food chain is a group of different organisms. A very simple and precise definition. It shows how energy and nutrients are transferred from one living organism to another via food chain. Or simply we can say it exhibits who eats whom. कौन किसको खा रहा है. By this we have an idea. If we wish to define the food chain, we start with this grass. This is grass that has the capacity of synthesizing its food with the help of photosynthesis process. Now this grass is ready, and now it is being eaten up by this grasshopper, and in turn this grasshopper is being taken up by this frog, and here is a snake that is feeding on this frog. If we talk in ecological language, what is sun? Sun is the source of energy. This solar energy is used by these plants, that's why they are called producers, because they are autotrophs. We have discussed this concept in our previous video. Green plants are autotrophs because they can do photosynthesis. But all these three organisms, these three animals, they cannot perform the process of photosynthesis. That's why we call them heterotrophs. So these are producers and these are consumers, and as per or according to their order, we call it primary consumer, secondary consumer and tertiary consumer. So this is the demonstration of a very simple food chain, and with the help of this food chain we can precisely define the concept of food chain, that the feeding relationship between different organisms through which energy is transferred step by step from the producers to the consumers is called food chain. In other words, we can simplify it that it is a process of repeated eating and being eaten. कोई किसी को खा रहा है और बदले में किसी के द्वारा खाया जा रहा है. I again repeat, कोई किसी को खा रहा है और बदले में किसी दूसरे के द्वारा खाया जा रहा है. This is the basic essence of food chain. A different topic I feel it necessary to discuss here, trophic level. Each level in a food chain is often referred to as a trophic level, or rather we can say a trophic level is a step in the food chain that each organism occupies. We again take the example of our previous food chain, and as we have said that a trophic level is a step in the food chain that each organism occupies. Here you see grass is occupying a spatial space, again an independent space is being taken up by this grasshopper, and the case is the same with frog and snake also. So according to their order, grass is on the first stage. That's why we call it TL1. TL1 means trophic level 1. And accordingly, they are called trophic level 2. Grasshopper is the organism of trophic level 2. Similarly, this frog is the individual of trophic level 3 and snake represent trophic level 4. So what is trophic level? It is a step in the food chain that each organism occupies. Now we talk on types of food chain. There may be two kinds of food chain, grazing food chain and detritus food chain. Since this video is being made for the students of lower classes and the types of food chain do not seem to fall under the scope of their syllabus, therefore I shall make a separate video for explaining the types of food chains. Now we talk about food web. There are many trophic levels in the nature that interconnect. We have seen this in the food chain. Sometimes a single organism gets eaten up by many predators or it eats many other organisms. Let's understand it with the help of a simple example. Students, a predator can feed on multiple types of prey. For example, a tiger may feed upon a deer, a bison, a zebra, a rabbit or a sheep. Similarly, a deer may be the food of a range of predators such as a tiger, a lion, a leopard or a pack of wild dogs. So, a food chain doesn't represent the energy flow in an appropriate manner. Or we should say that the flow of energy in an ecosystem is not as simple as exhibited by the food chain. Who will explain it? Yes, this is where a food web comes into picture. Now this food web will explain the process of flow of energy from one trophic level to the next. What is food web? A food web consists of many interconnected food chains and provides multiple pathways through which energy and matter flow in an ecosystem. Food webs अपने आप में बड़ा complicated topic है and the dynamics and interactions of this topic are still a matter of further investigations. Rather, nevertheless, we can say it is a better representation of what actually happens in the nature. वास्तव में कौन किसको खा रहा है वो इतना बेहतर तरीके से हम फूड चेन से नहीं समझ पाते. This food web puts the real picture before us. Let's understand the food web with the help of this simple explanation. Let's start with this flowering grass. This flowering grass may become the food of this grasshopper, or this butterfly may also depend on this flowering grass. What is flowering grass? This is producer and they are consumers. We have talked about this. At the same time, fruit fly may also like to depend on this flowering grass. Now we see this grasshopper may be eaten up by this frog, and this frog in turn may be eaten up by this snake, and this snake may become the food of this eagle. So this is a very simple food chain. We see flowering grass, grasshopper, frog, snake and eagle. Now, since nature is full of unexpected possibilities for animals, this butterfly may become the food of this peacock. Now this is our second food chain. Flowering grass, butterfly and peacock. Now we look at this fruit fly. It may be eaten up by dragonfly, which in turn may be eaten up by an insectivorous bird, maybe chat or maybe robin. So you can see three food chains in this picture. This is one food chain, this is another food chain second, and this is the third food chain. Now we focus on this grasshopper. Frog is not the only predator. You see here, this is not the only predator in nature that feeds on grasshopper. This grasshopper may be eaten up by this insectivorous bird. Similarly, this is merely a possibility where this snake feeds on frog. You see here, otherwise this frog may directly become the lunch of this eagle. Now let's see the fate of this frog. We know that this frog may be eaten up by this snake and this eagle, but here is the peacock that loves to eat the frog. And not only frog, this peacock may feed upon this snake also. Now if we see this second food chain, this butterfly other than this peacock may be eaten up by this frog also. And here you can see this insectivorous bird, it also likes to eat butterfly. You see the beauty of this food chain? So many trophic levels are getting interconnected. The game is not over yet, students. This butterfly may become the prey of this dragonfly also. And in turn, this dragonfly may become the target of this frog also. This insectivorous bird is also not very much fortunate, as this snake may feed upon it. Or if it doesn't happen, then this eagle is ready to kill and eat upon this robin or chat or other insectivorous bird. So we can see very easily that various trophic levels are interconnected to each other in a very complex manner, and it makes the concept of food web. Now we have a brief discussion on the differences between food chain and food web. Directly it may not be a part of your syllabus, students, since it covers very simple topics. I would like to talk about it also. First difference, food chain is a single pathway through which food, energy and nutrients travel in the ecosystem, while we have studied that food web is interconnected food chain. The first difference is this: food chain is a single pathway, while food web is a group of interconnected food chains. Second difference, in food chain, number of higher trophic levels feed upon a single type of organism, as we discussed earlier, while in a food web, number of higher trophic level feed upon many organisms of lower trophic level. It can be explained in the next slide. This is our third difference. Food chains, they do not increase the stability of the ecosystem, while this stability is increased with the presence of food webs. How does it happen? As I told you previously, if there was only a concept of food chain only in the nature, कि हम टाइगर के पास केवल एक ही विकल्प रखते कि आपको केवल डियर को खाना है, नॉट अदर देन दिस डियर, अब क्या समस्या आती? किसी भी वजह से इफ डियर डिक्लाइंस और बिकम्स एक्सटिंक्ट फ्रॉम द इकोसिस्टम, दैट टाइगर विल आल्सो बिकम एक्सटिंक्ट. अगर डियर ही खत्म हो गया और डियर इज द ओनली फूड फॉर टाइगर, टाइगर का तो समाप्त होना अपने आप में निश्चित है. बट इट डज नॉट हैपन, क्योंकि नेचर ने बहुत सारे विकल्प दिए. इसीलिए तो हम कहते हैं कि टाइगर को अगर डियर नहीं मिल रहा तो हम कहते हैं आप बाइसन ले लीजिए, जेब्रा ले लीजिए, एंटीलोप ले लीजिए, शीप, रैबिट, कुछ ना मिले तो लार्ज साइज की बर्ड ले लीजिए. और इस कंडीशन में उस टाइगर के सामने कभी भी फूड की कमी नहीं होगी. और ये कैसे संभव होता है? ओनली फूड वेब मेक्स इट possible. In this way, we can say that this food web increases the stability of the ecosystem. Now we have a very brief discussion on the significance of food chain and food web. Food chain and food web, they help us to understand the feeding relationship. जैसे कि हमने आपको बताया था, हमें इस प्रोसेस से ये पता चल जाता है कि कौन किसे खा रहा है और बदले में किसके द्वारा खाया जा रहा है. On the next level, हम ये भी समझ जाते हैं कि व्हाट इज द मैकेनिज्म बिहाइंड द फ्लो ऑफ एनर्जी एंड द सर्कुलेशन ऑफ मैटर इन द इकोसिस्टम. कैसे ये मैटर एक लेवल से दूसरे लेवल पे ट्रांसफर होता है, कैसे एनर्जी एक लेवल से दूसरे लेवल पर ट्रांसफर होती है. एक थर्ड हमारा बेनिफिट क्या है? विद द हेल्प ऑफ दीज टू कॉन्सेप्ट वी गेट टू नो मोर अबाउट इकोसिस्टम एंड स्पेशली वी गेट टू नो हाउ दीज इकोसिस्टम्स आर बैलेंस्ड. आखिर ये संतुलित कैसे रहते हैं, उस इको बैलेंसिंग का सिद्धांत कैसे काम करता है. The concepts of food chain and food web, they help us in understanding this intricate behavior of eco-balancing. And in the last, the problems of biomagnification are also explained. What is biomagnification? Students, it is the increasing concentration of a toxic substance in tissues of tolerant organisms which build up next higher levels in a food chain. I understand it is not very easy to understand for you, since it is very specific topic and needs in-depth discussion. We shall talk about it in our next video. Thank you and all the best.